People throughout America are calling for racial equality in different ways, protesting in the streets, speaking out on social media, and even forcing professional sports leagues to cancel practices and games.
Now, there is no one way to call for equality. Team 12's Nyala Charles found out that there's also not a lot of agreement on how effective those calls are.
These three words, Black Lives Matter, have been recited here and across the country, but people have different ideas on how to best act on those words.
No justice! No peace!
People have made it very clear they will no longer accept the status quo when it comes to how Black people are treated in the U.S., whether it's with peaceful marching, canceled NBA games, or when frustrations boil over, looting. Benny Garcia has been watching the NBA games religiously and commends the players for refusing to play as they urge people to focus on racial injustices instead of basketball.
Letting other people know that, hey, you know what? This is an important thing going on, and I think people need to listen.
Phoenix City Councilman Sal DiCiccio made his stance clear, calling the NBA players whiny on Twitter. Next week, he and other council members are set to discuss the possible creation of a Black Lives Matter mural. Brittany Brown is all for the city paying for that mural so that art can influence life.
I think that would be nice. It shows that that Arizona do care and a change is going to happen.
The discussion comes as protesters call for justice for Jacob Blake, the latest Black man shot by officers in Kenosha, Wisconsin. There, civil unrest has unfolded, and the National Guard has been ordered to get things under control. Eddie Malachek agrees with the protests, just not the violent ones.
I don't believe the destruction benefits anybody, in the short or long term.
While Ronald Alexander says it's a final resort to fix a systemic issue.
The civil unrest and the unrest in the streets, all it's shown to work historically, so it needs to work now too.
Protests, no matter what form they're taking, are bringing the issue of racial equality to the forefront. Which brings us back here. So far, the proposal lists different spots downtown as possible locations for the mural that will include images of Martin Luther King, Cesar Chavez, and John Lewis. But whether or not the city will officially put up a mural that says Black Lives Matter is still up for debate. In downtown Phoenix, Nyala Charles, 12 News.
All right, Nyala, thank you.